Beloveds, if I look like I'm not awake, it's because I'm not. I don't think I slept very well last night. You ever have one of those dreams when you're really busy in your dream and then you wake up tired? That's where I'm at. The first part of the dream was kind of nightmarish, but not in a, it was just one of those, oh, well, you're not being listened to and you're not being respected kind of dreams. And I just went, what is this about? And then the second part of the dream was I spent the rest of the night exercising. Some situation of whoever I was working for, they had some insurance thing going where they could put, you could wear, a fitness watch and they could track your exercise. And then they got money back on the insurance that they would give. And I had agreed to go take a spin class. But when I got there, it wasn't and I was just like, and every time I kept trying to get out of it, I just kept getting sucked back in. So it was like, so I spent, part of my sleeping time exercising. And you know what they say about the brain? So I'm just not awake this morning. But it is Memorial Day. So I do not have to work today. We are closed for Memorial Day, thank goodness, because I wouldn't want to go to work tired like this. It's never fun. What I am going to do is once I get done with this, I'm going to go for a bike ride. Cause it's getting way too hot to walk. So, we're going to save the walking for one day a week in the park and bike ride for, the rest of the days, so that we can keep exercising, and today's a good day to get back on the bike for the first time because it's Memorial Day and it should be relatively quiet in the neighborhoods. All right. And I said yesterday about Memorial Day, it's important to me that people remember Memorial Day is to remember which is why it's called Memorial Day. Remember, the people who died in service in uniform. Veterans have their day. The armed, which is in November, Armed Forces Day was a week ago, I think. I think when I looked it up, it was May 18th, and that's to celebrate, the people who are still in service. Memorial Day is for those who died in service. It is, so, yeah. And people get them confused. I think partly because Veterans Day is around, D-Day. And, that's a pretty awful memory. So, that's what it is. So, all right. I think today's going to be a short one because this was an awkward sized chapter. And, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with what is a practitioner and read just a couple of sections. And then the last section that it's like 3 or 4 pages. And then it's like 3 or 4 pages of what is different types of treatment. So I think what I'm going to do, and then a couple of short sections after that. So I'm going to start with what is a practitioner and stop when I get to the different types of treatment. And we'll do the different types of treatment tomorrow. All right. So I am on page 167 and the title is What is a Practitioner? And Rita's in my lap. So if I look a little awkward, that's why. Okay. What is a practitioner? The one who attempts to heal themselves or another through the recognition of the creative power of mind and the ever availability of good is a mental or spiritual practitioner. Such a one refuses to allow negative thoughts to control their consciousness. They endeavor to greet the divinity in every person they meet. The one seeking to demonstrate the power of spiritual realization in everyday affairs should believe in divine guidance. They should affirm that their mind is continually impressed with the images of right action, that everything in their life is controlled by love, harmony, and peace, that everything they do prospers, and that the eternal energy back of all things animates everything which they undertake. Every objective evidence contrary to good should be resolutely denied, and in its place should come a sense of right action. They should feel a unity of spirit with all people and running through all events. They should declare that the spirit within them is God, quickening into right action everything they touch, bringing the best out of all their experiences and forever guiding and sustaining. The greatest good which their mind is able to conceive should be affirmed as a part of their everyday experience. No matter what the occupation of such a person, they are a mental and spiritual practitioner, and from such daily meditation, they should venture forth into a life of action, and with the will to do, the determination to be, and a joy of becoming. The professional mental and spiritual practitioner is one who has dedicated their life, their time, their energies, their intelligence to helping others through mental and spiritual means and methods. What is a practitioner? That's what a practitioner is. In Science of Mind, it takes a minimum of, I think, 5 years to become a practitioner, maybe 4. And I say that because you have a requisite of classes that you take before that take 2 or 3 years to take the classes. And then practitioner training is 2 years. It is there. It's although they now call what we used to call Prac 1, they call advanced consciousness studies, and then practitioner training. So you can take all the classes and don't have to get your license. But the license says that you have been trained and, pass the tests, because there are tests. There's a written and an oral panel that you have to pass to become a practitioner in Science of Mind. But it means that if you wanted to start a prison ministry, that's a license that will let you do that. You don't have to be a minister to start a prison ministry. The practitioner's license is good enough because you are maintained by a governing body. So that's what a practitioner is. All right. The first requisite for the mental and spiritual practitioner is a full sense of the sacredness of their trust, the sacredness of the confidence of their patient, which impels them to pour out their very soul. This confidence a practitioner should keep sacred, inviolate. They should no more betray this trust than would a priest who officiates at the confessional, a lawyer who handles the business and finances of their client, or a physician who cares for the physical well-being of their patients. Practitioners do meet occasionally and discuss cases as doctors might in a clinic, but they should never mention the names or the personal affairs of those under treatment. And that is very, very serious. We take that oath very seriously. As practitioners, we only share stories when we have been given permission to. And sometimes when we do share stories, we make sure to not share anything that would identify the person that the story is about. But mostly, we don't talk about it. We take that very, very, very seriously. And in Science of Mind, all ministers are practitioners first. All right. And then this section is a practitioner's business. It is the practitioner's business to uncover God in every person. God is not sick. God is not poor. God is not unhappy. God is never afraid. God is never confused. God is never out of its place. The premise upon which all mental work is based is perfect God, perfect person, perfect being. First, perfect God, then perfect person. There is a spiritual person who is never sick, who is never poor, unhappy, never confused, never afraid, who is never caught by negative thought. Browning called this the spark which a person may desecrate but never quite lose. These are the tools of thought with which a practitioner works. Where does they do their work? Where do they do their work? In their own mind. All caps, emphasis earnest. In their own mind. Never anywhere else. Always in their own thought. A practitioner never tries to get away from the mind within. We are practicing scientifically when the mind refuses to see the apparent condition and turn to the absolute. Thought that was important enough to highlight. So let me read that again. We are practicing scientifically when the mind refuses to see the apparent condition and turns to the absolute. A scientific treatment cannot be conditioned upon anything that now exists, upon any experience less than perfection. Wholeness, less than wholeness, anything less than wholeness. In treatment, we turn entirely away from the relative, entirely away from that which appears to be. We might begin a treatment with the statement, with God all things are possible. God can find a way. We may say, they that dwell in the sacred place of the Most High, etc. It does not matter so much what one says. It is what one believes when they say it that counts. They must believe. If they are going to be a successful practitioner, that their word is the law of that whereunto it is spoken. We treat people not as a patient, not as a physical body, not as a disease condition. Neither do we treat the disease as belonging to them. We must not think of the disease as being connected with them or as any part of them. The practitioner realizes that a person is born of spirit and not of matter. They realize that until they see their patient as a living embodiment of perfection. Woo! Let me try that sentence again because it's really, really, really important. They realize this until they see their patient as a living embodiment of perfection. A practitioner then is one who recognizes the power of mind, definitely, specifically, concretely, and consciously, speaks from their objective mind into subjectivity and gives direction to a law, which is the actor. What a practitioner really does is to take their patient, the disease, and everything that appears to be wrong into their own mentality. And here they attempt to dissolve all false appearances and erroneous conclusions. At the center of the practitioner's own being, the healing work must be accomplished. The more completely the practitioner is convinced of the power of their own word, the more power their word will have. There must be a recognition that the power of the word, operating as the truth and the reality of being, can do all things. Emphasis earnest. Therefore, the person whose consciousness is the clearest, who has the most complete faith, will be the best healer. All right, I think I'm going to stop there because we're going to go into different methods of treatment, and that's like 3 pages of different methods of treatment. But basically, he's talking about a practitioner. And so what a practitioner does is goes back to the root, goes back to what we are. What we are divine sparks. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we basically go back to that spiritual root and know that nothing is wrong. Okay? We go to the place where nothing has ever been wrong. And that's what Reverend Jesse likes to say. When we go back to the truth, we go to the place where nothing has ever been wrong. We are ignoring all of the effects. And that is one of the reasons why it is so important to watch what we say after the I am, because we are telling the universe what we are. Okay? I have had a 6-week experience with a respiratory virus. Okay? And that is one of the ways that I say it. When I talk about my aunt who had, what I say is she had a breast cancer experience. She had the experience of breast cancer. She was not breast cancer. See what I'm saying? That, and yes, it is a little bit of mental gymnastics, but it is about belief. And it is about believing that there is a part of us where nothing has ever been wrong and going back to that. Goswami calls it the bliss body. If you go back and read Amit Goswami in The Quantum Doctor, he says we have 5 bodies. He calls the material body the gross body. I call it the material body. And then he says that we have an emotional body, and we have a mental body, and we have a super mental body, and then we have a bliss body. Well, the bliss body, nothing has ever been wrong. That super mental body is the blueprints. And so what we do in meditation and what we do in treatment is we go back and take a look at the blueprints and then come back into alignment with that. That's spiritual treatment. That is spiritual mental treatment. We go back and we go to the place where nothing has ever been wrong. We look at the blueprints and we go, oh, that's how that's supposed to work. So, all right. So what we will do is we will pick up tomorrow on page 170 with different methods of treatment. There's just 3 sections left, but different methods of treatment is long, which is why I'm going to stop here. So we're going to do this in 3 parts. All right, beloveds, it is Memorial Day. Go and do whatever it is that you are going to do for Memorial Day. And let me do the housekeeping is what I like to call it, to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I commend them to you. I did make an effort to catch up on my social media yesterday, moving these over to my YouTube channel. I just need to get off my butt and do it to the Creative Life. I just want, in the Creative Life, I'm knitting the chapters together. So if it's more than one part, it's going to be one long plate, one long thing. I'll just break it up. It's just, I don't want to clutter up the YouTube, but we are going to get it on there. So I'll work on that. All right, beloveds. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org or go to creativelife.org. That's the website. First one's the constant contact email, and the other one's the website. I'm clearly still not awake. So, all right, beloveds. I don't know what I was about to say. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a wake up day, a take a break day, a get some rest day, a do what you need to do day, enjoy the day off day, if you have the day off, a take care of business day, a get a couple of tasks done day, a make sure you do something fun day, a take a moment for remembering day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? I don't know what I was about to say there. What do I normally say there? Explore the truth of your being. Yeah, that is what we are doing with the science of mind. We are exploring the truth of our being together. So, hope you're enjoying the ride. And you can clearly see that I'm feeling better because I can't keep the comments to myself. So, and I think it's helpful. And Ernest wouldn't mind. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. to finish up whatever chapter we were on. I don't even remember what chapter we're on. I think 11. 10. No. I think we're on chapter 11. I don't know. the chapter tomorrow and move on. All right. I think it is chapter 11 because chapter 10 is faith. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.